Today on the Topic Show, JD Vance weird trends, but pictures of leftist overshadow his. Gavin Newsom wants to ban Kamala Harris ad parody. Pete Buttigieg says men are freer with abortion. Kamala Harris has a Women for Kamala rally, but the trans participant sparks controversy. Green Day holds Trump mask Mark idiot and derisively makes fun of him. Call of Duty censors anti-Biden names but allows Trump ones. Spire pulls Olympic sponsorship after the Last Supper drag performance. Smirnoff, Johnny Walker parent company, has their first sales drop since 2020, and Tesla has a software recall of 1.8 million vehicles. All of that and much more on The Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Spire pulling Paris Olympic sponsorships after the drag performance / Last Supper, which some people are saying wasn't really the Last Supper, it's Greek mythology. But then why did they delete it? Nevertheless, this is brought to us thanks to X Twitter and is straight from the company's mouth, so to say. This is right from Spire. They say, and again, they're an IT company. They are, quote, "We are shocked by the mockery of the Last Supper during the opening ceremonies of the Paris Olympics. Spire will be pulling our advertising from the Olympics." Quote unquote. And that got 9.4 million views and 197,000 likes. There's quite a few likes to say the least. And I can't imagine how much fiscally this is going to hurt the company in terms of the marketing dollars that they were spending. I'm not sure how much they'll get their money back from, but it also might increase their sales. So at the end of the day, maybe it'll be good for them. Now, some of the top comments comes from Gunther Eagleman simply saying, "Thank you," getting 6.4 thousand likes. You have Oiled London saying, "Thank you for taking a stand for Christians," getting 2.9 thousand likes. Paul Zupa also says, "Well done, boycott the Olympics," getting 1.6 thousand likes. Chris Pavlovsky, the founder of Rumble, which rumor is if you say that word, YouTube automatically blacklists the video so no one sees it, which, statistically speaking, at least 3 people should see this video, in theory, or more if I'm lucky. Chris simply says, "Well done," getting 499 likes. Catturd simply has the applause emoji, getting 5.4 thousand likes. Charlie Kirk has a prayer emoji, getting 2.4 thousand likes. Hudson Busby says, "Has never been more proud of a company. Thank you for representing the values of your customers," unquote, getting 18,000 likes. Might be the record, to say the least. Trying to see if there's any contrarian statements, because again, there will be some customers and prospective customers who are simply irate that they have the audacity to pull their sponsorship of the Olympics this year. You also have Jenna Ellis saying, "Respect, thank you," getting 2.2 thousand likes. Mad Liberals actually says, "Thank you for standing up. I wish more companies would follow your lead," getting 2.7 thousand likes. Cilian says, "Thank you, following," getting 4.6 thousand likes, which I think I'm already following that company as well. Oh yeah, I'm already following them. Not sure if they operate in my area, but yeah, I would definitely entertain what they have to do in terms of telecom capabilities and wireless technologies if they're local. Not sure. I believe not at the moment. Now you also have, I don't think there's any contrarian statements. Ball says, "I'll be contacting you very soon to change my wireless service provider," getting 9,000 likes. Luigi, oh, but it was not a Mario emoji. It might be his real name. Says, "Y'all about to have the most profitable week in your company's history," getting 3.4 thousand likes. Let's see. Seems overwhelming positive responses. He also, Dan Keller saying, "I support this decision," getting 453 likes. So let's see. A lot of people saying boycott the Paris Olympics. Let's see here. Any contrarian statements? Positive religious post here as well. Oh, whoops. Well, censor, spoiler, this picture should probably have a little blur on it. Yeah, someone had a picture of the bastardization or the, making fun of the Last Supper, which again, now that there's a backlash, they say, "Oh no, we were just making fun. It was a Greek mythology parody or something like that." Although, I don't know why there's drag. And then also, if they're so proud of this, why do they delete it off their YouTube? And they're going after YouTube channels, especially also the music producer, left and right. So if you see any clips of that, they'll be partially muted because of them trying to claim everything. Which again, if they made the music, makes sense. But yeah, there's a picture of them, and cover that. One of the performers, as they might call themselves, has one of his nuts just hanging out. That's the Paris Olympics opening ceremony right there. Got a perverse Papa Smurf, bunch of people in drag. Apparently, one of the people there is also allegedly underage. So yeah, that's the Paris Olympics this year. Needless to say, I don't know a lot of people are actually tuning in this year to see what it's all about. And will this make the company more profitable? I think it will. Because of the total demographics and kind of the preferences and religious affiliations in the United States. I do think at the moment more than 50% of people will be inspired by this, and they'll actually maybe purchase their product or continue to purchase their product because of this. But let me know, have you ever even heard of them? Now, granted, I'm based in the great state, or some might argue the great country of Texas, and I've not heard of them being an ISP or internet service provider in our local area. And I think they're more common on the East Coast. But let me know in the comments, have you ever heard of this company? And what are your thoughts? Do you think this will either help them a lot with their sales, or do you think it could actually hurt their sales? Let me know in the comments. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting business news, you have Smirnoff and Johnny Walker parent company have their first sales drop since 2020, which is ridiculously, that's ridiculously bad to say the least. Now, it used to be an old staple of the alcohol industry. People used to say it was kind of economic bulletproof. They always say, people drink with good times, then people drink with bad times. It was one of the things where, historically speaking, in terms, and again, not financial advice, but overwhelming majority of the time, alcohol sales would be pretty good, if not increasing throughout history. Now, interestingly enough, culturally, in the United States, we are seeing a decrease in alcohol consumption, and a lot of people are also pivoting towards different types of alcohol, where, again, the parent company of Smirnoff, Johnny Walker, is Diageo PLC, or across the pond, so to say, and they make more hard spirits. In the United States, we're seeing a lot of people drink the seltzers and those other weird things. You're seeing preferences shift, as well as less people in the United States drinking alcohol on average. And granted, I'm an outlier in many ways, some good, some bad, but I'm kind of a health nut. Last time I had a drink, I think we had it was a work event. Like my alcohol, and I know, another interesting thing about the lower age groups in terms of the whole U.S. demographics of who is drinking, they are drinking less and less. So it's interesting. I think it's partially because the economy maybe is just so bad people aren't drinking as much. But yeah, this is pretty unprecedented. Now this comes to us thanks to MarketScreener.com, which, again, this is a Diageo. The stock is still great. Again, not financial advice. I can't imagine having one share. One share is $2,418, which probably pretty penny, though it is down negative 15.43% since January 1st. Now, again, this is by Andrea Figueros. He's right over there. They say, quote, spirits manufacturer Diageo expects demand to remain soft after consumers in North America and Latin America pulled back spending on alcohol in its last fiscal year, weighing on sales. The UK company, which counts, aka owns the manufacturers, Johnny Walker, Guinness, and Smirnoff among its brands, booked a net sales of $20.27 billion for the their fiscal year ended June 30th. That was down 1.4% over a year. Analysts had forecasted sales of $20.24 billion, according to a poll compiled by Visible Alpha. Diageo said organic net sales in America fell 2.5% due to weak demand and the negative effect of inventory replenishment from the previous year. Like rivals, Diageo is grappling with more subdued demand for alcohol after a surge in sales during the pandemic, which led to high inventories, particularly in the U.S. You also have Chris Bucket saying he was head of researcher at Cheviot, sorry. Here's what's on my mind, maybe. But it says North America has experienced consumer weakness, which is not an isolated issue, but one has observed across several countries. So looks like they're not doing so great over there. And again, what used to be a darn near bulletproof industry is actually struggling. And we do see a lot of these, beverage manufacturers investing in other categories. I know in places like San Francisco, you also have the cannabis infused beverages that are increasing in popularity. And people are drinking a lot more bottled and canned water these days. Another thing that, again, Liquid Death is now valued at over $1 billion. Last time they raised money this year, which, again, $1 billion idea, water in a can. Who would have thought? But again, a great example of the power of marketing. it will be interesting to see what's the future in terms of are more and more people. I mean, when will alcohol sales take up for these folks? Is this category of alcohol just declining, for all foreseen future? I mean, out of curiosity, let me know. When's the last time you actually had one of their products? I mean, you had a Guinness or a Smirnoff, I mean, or Johnny Walker. In terms of those specific brands, and for me, it's probably 12 years by now since I've had one of those. But let me know in the comments. As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the culture part podcast, you have Kamala. Women for Kamala has a trans participant, which sparks controversy. Now, this is brought to us thanks to End Wokeness on X Twitter, which he says, quote, Team Harris held an official Women for Kamala Zoom meeting last night. This is one of the quote-unquote ladies in charge, which, yeah, spoiler, not a lady. Interesting background, kind of like a really creepy, like a horror film. Trying to think of how to describe it, but just zigzags. This individual has long hair, earrings, lipstick, of course, and some type of pink t-shirt. Some type of scrunchy with long hair. So F- for fashion, obviously. And it's not too painful. It's only about 30 seconds, so without too much further ado.
Good evening, folks. My name is Charlotte Clymer. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a writer and activist, and I am so excited to be part of this.
I'd be fascinated to see, or well, I would love to see a statistical breakdown of like how many of these people have real jobs, actually make a profit. There's so many people that are involved in politics and political commentating and all this kind of stuff where they just say act like who's writing the checks so that they can actually have an apartment or have a house. I mean, where's that money come from? And then, I mean, how many people are on the left versus the right in terms of that? That'd be an interesting thing. If you have that statistics, let me know in the comments.
Historic gathering of women across the country. Now, look, I'm not going to repeat to y'all what the brilliant and eloquent women have stated before me, and nor do I have the eloquence and brilliance of the women who are going to speak over the remainder of the evening. I'm just going to tell y'all a quick story about why I proudly support Vice President Harris.
Spoiler alert, I guess the story was terrible or just not worth mentioning. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the bullet points of like, here's 1, 2, 3 things that Kamala Harris has accomplished and why you should vote for her. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying I've not seen them ever on social media or in conversation. This went pretty well. I got 841,000 views and 11,000 likes. One of the first comments coming from Gunther Eagleman saying, quote, is that a dude, getting 1.4 thousand likes. Paul Suzupa says, canceling women doesn't seem like a good strategy for winning votes for women. Getting 505 likes, which, yeah, it's fascinating. The side that says, women for Kamala also cannot define what a woman is. And those are the same people where some of them do attempt to define it. They say that women can have male private parts. Which, one of the best documentaries is What is a Woman by Matt Walsh. I mean, that was the one reason I know so many people signed up for the Daily Wire so they could have access to that film. Because it was horrifying and all too accurate of how modern society has crumbled and fallen. I also have Andy No saying Charles Clymer? Really? And wow, this person looks like they're from maybe not Frankenstein, the Addams family. They I mean, teeth yellowed as if they smoked 12 packs of cigarettes in a single day. A lot of Botox, I'm guessing. Long hair. Obviously a man in a type of weird blouse. Yeah, I got 308 likes though. Going down. Ginny Trump won, Carrie Lake won. Long profile name, but it is there nevertheless. Says, quote, obviously this is a man. This is very insulting to women. Hey, all you feminists out there, do you realize the sickening agenda trying to knock women completely out of society? They're going at this because women are the glue that hold American family together. They're trying to destroy this. And it's a picture of a loving father or wife and then a daughter or son at church. The picture says, this is what the left is trying to destroy. Getting 252 likes. Zena Jill Gill says, if your boyfriend is voting for Kamala Harris, you don't have a boyfriend, you have a girlfriend. They have a picture of Kamala Harris with, person's got to be 7 feet tall, a drag queen. That did get 115 likes. Jimanomics says, why is a dude leading a women's group? Getting 513 likes. Jerry Mariano says, does that thing have one of these? And unfortunately, someone's, I mean, it's not bleeding or anything, but the arm has been medically butchered, or skin has been removed from the arm to make imitation body parts. They got 189 likes. Alec Lay says he is in the wrong Zoom meeting. White dudes for Kamala just ended, getting 523 likes, which is fascinating. They say they're not racist, yet they have all these individual groups that only focus on their race. Spitfire says, but JD Vance is weird, quote unquote, getting 157 likes. The classic GameStop. The meme merchant says, that's a dude. It says, dear sir. The patient says, it's ma'am. Dear ma'am, you have testicular cancer. That got 253 likes, as well as the horrifying individual who got mad at the GameStop employee for no real reason, getting 253 likes again. Masculine Base says, definitely raised by the government, and says, when you accidentally let the government raise your kids. And it's a picture of a normal boy. Then he slowly transitions, getting pink hair, and then, yeah, makeup and girl clothes, getting 187 likes. Heather 007 says, the left can't define a woman. Not shocked. Women Kamala had a few baritone bodies in it. Getting 118 likes. See, there's any contrarian statements here. Because again, those rooms aren't empty. There are many women joining these Kamala Harris little groups and stuff. Just Jess also says, male privilege is being able to invade women's spaces and have feminists defend you. Getting 98 likes. So at least in this particular thread, I'm not seeing any contrarian statements. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, all these little groups are coming out. I thought it was a parody when someone says, white guys or white dudes for Harris. I didn't think it was a real thing. Apparently it is a real thing, which, yeah. It will be interesting to see culturally if we keep focusing on race throughout these years. I hope not. It's really about what is the man's character and his actions, not things he can't control. But let me know, do you think this is an effective marketing, cultural, and political campaign, or this methodology? Let me know in the comments. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting cultural news, you have Green Day holding a Trump mask with a idiot written on it and having a concert that just makes fun of him and all the folks that support Trump, which should not be too surprising given Green Day has been doing this for a couple of years now. I mean, a lot of people are concerned, well, they're doing this also right after the Trump assassination attempt, which is also being covered up by Google, apparently. Now, can't play the music, which you probably don't want to hear. You're thinking the good was it the 90s Green Day, where they had the song American Idiot, which this is just a bastardization. They rewrote it, which, again, they made it worse and also alienated about 50% of their prospective clients, which is not a proven business decision. And especially for a band who one would think you want to sell as much as possible. But nevertheless, now this is one of the first videos brought to us thanks to Sakil Kupar, who said, quote, Green Day performed in DC tweaks American Idiot lyrics to, quote, I'm not a part of the MAGA agenda, unquote. And the most hilariously ironic thing is they're all about being anti-establishment, which, I mean, if you look at Trump and just the history of, Republicans versus Democrats, he's probably the best example of someone being anti-establishment. Like, he wasn't a career politician. He was a businessman most of his life. And a lot of his policies, I would argue many of them were libertarian. And, I mean, it's the most contrarian, not establishment thing I've seen in politics in my lifetime. And yet, these, what are they called? Simps? These guys are like, oh no, Trump is bad. We're going to use our platform, and we're going to, instead of making music for everyone, we're going to divide our audience. And not a very prudent idea. They got about 1.1 million views, and you see they got the little stage with the Green Day with the hand holding the heart grenade. Also got 25,000 likes. One of the first comments comes from Muse, simply saying sick, getting 21 likes. One of the top likes comes from Clandestine saying punk rock band that shields for oppressive government. And it's a crying emoji. I forget he's a doctor in real life. He was also an actor in the Hangover movies. But in one of the things he acted in, he's in a classroom, he just has his hands up and he shouts gay. That GIF got 539 likes. Count Beckley says they've been doing it for years now, getting 386 likes, which true. John Palmer also says they played that way since 2016, getting 388 likes. Democracy Pete rather says we have Green Day, they have Kid Rock. Contrarian statements. Someone does like this. Getting 66 likes. He got 24 replies. Was he ratioed though? Quantron responded saying, well, Green Day is for losers. So yeah, that makes sense. Getting 25 likes. Ultra Wendy says no one cared about Green Day when they were new. Getting 6 likes. I mean, anecdotally speaking, when I was in high school, they were pretty popular. They were always seemingly playing on the radio back then. Chris Bolin also says Kid Rock sells out stadiums, Green Day sells out, hyping the oppressive regime posers. Getting 24 likes. Going back to the main comments, Majority Tim says Punk in 2024 means doing exactly what the machine tells you to do. Stunning, brave. Yep, getting 509 likes. Let's see. Now going to the head picture. This is brought to us thanks to Jack Pozo saying, quote, Billy Joe Armstrong holds up a Donald Trump head at a Green Day concert in D.C. just 2 weeks after Donald Trump was shot in the head at a rally. Yeah, definitely. Was that Billy? Spelled weirdly, Billie. Almost as weird as a name like Topping. Oh wait, I partially digress, but yeah, definitely. I guess you could say Billy puts the ass in class, or he is an ass, something to that effect. And this one probably got viral, got 1.3 million views and 10,000 likes. I'm gonna make this larger on the screen so you can see. Yeah, how cliche. Again, yeah, it's just mind-blowing how punk rock used to be against the big machine. They used to be against big government, against the man. And now all they do is push that. Now, scrolling down some of the top comments, you have Gunther Eagleman saying, quote, Billy was washed up trash at Green Day, getting 6,000 likes. Patty says, that's funny how all these bands used to hate the government, now they just love the government. Getting 3.5 thousand likes. Jan says, but Republicans need to, quote, tone things down. Getting 1.6 thousand likes. Right. The pot calling the kettle black. For, what was it, almost a decade, they called Trump, a threat to democracy, evil, comparing him to Hitler. And then they act shocked when one of their own attempts to take his life. Which I think many would argue, including myself, that maybe that was the goal the whole time. Crypto Cardone says, inciting violence against the former president, he's responsible now, getting 1.2 thousand likes. But as we know, they would never be prosecuted. Kyle says, you can't be punk when you're 50, getting 601 likes, which, I don't know if that's a big issue. I mean, I would think punk would just be the contrarian, just to be against the establishment. I don't think age has I don't think that's the largest component of it. You have a picture of them standing out in front of Jeffrey Epstein's little island house. It says, it's them saying, we're not part of the MAGA agenda, getting 453 likes. Let's see. Jerry says, he's all talk and thinks he's edgy. Remember when he started crying when Roe v. Wade was overturned and said he would renounce his U.S. citizenship? He didn't do it. Maybe someone should take it from him. Getting 348 likes. But yeah, all the people who cried because of that one decision by the Supreme Court, which kind of just relegated it back to the states as it should be. And a lot of them were just so mentally vacuous, saying, oh, yeah, it's illegal everywhere now. It's like, no, whether you want it or not, just vote on it on a local level. Also have Delilah saying he needs to go to jail. Do not go jail. Hate crime by Democrat standards. Getting 387 likes. Of course, if it wasn't for standards, most politicians and people wouldn't have standards at all. So, let's see, is anyone sticking up for the Green Day band? Let's see. Not too many. Now again, I guess that's an interesting, fun meme. The one guy, 55, changed the meme, so instead of the Billy kid holding the Green Day mask, or the Trump mask, it's now a bag of trash. It says Green Day's career. And that got 128 likes. Now, that being said, it would be interesting to look at the statistics on, like, what's the average political preference of a Green Day fan? I mean, dude, if 95% of them all love the Bidens and the Harrises, maybe I guess this will increase their sales? I mean, personally, I think most people go to music to escape politics and escape, controversy. Just want to, have fun, listen to some music. But, yeah, let me know. I mean, I don't think this will actually decrease their sales much. They've had this viewpoint for years, ever since Trump was elected. So it's not exactly surprising they would take it one step further. And yeah, I don't think their sales will go down not even by 1%. But let me know in the comments. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting cultural news, you have Call of Duty censoring anti-Biden names, but allowing anti-Trump names. Guess we should not be too surprised. This is brought to us thanks to Libs of TikTok on X-Twitter, in which she actually tagged Activision. Will they fix it? Probably not. We know what Activision's all about. And she says Activision's Call of Duty won't let you set FJB, LGB, or FKH as your clan tag, but in-game because of some quote-unquote profanity, but it lets you do FDT. Let's see. little video here.
You can't do FJB. Watch.
Oh.
Profanity.
A big old error blasted on the screen.
Let's try. Let's go, Brandon.
One of the best examples of not trusting the media. Let's go, Brandon. That one reporter should be immortalized.
Profanity.
Can't do that either.
But look what you can do. Fuck Donald Trump, right?
It worked.
Nothing.
You're allowed.
Let's see if I can do a different one then. Fuck Kamala Harris. Wow. Wow.
Which, for the record, I don't know anyone who would want to, but throw that out there.
Can you believe that shit?
I mean, I can. This is the same company who wanted to utilize AI to actually monitor all the chats and started to just boot people out of the game for being too bombastic or saying naughty things. Which, I might be aging myself, but the OG Call of Duty World at War, was it? No. Modern Warfare 2 on the Xbox 360, which, in my opinion, put online gaming and Xbox in the really made it a standard for the industry and mass consumers. I mean, back then it was like the Wild West. I mean, if you could have heard the recordings back then, I mean that it was almost like it reminds me of almost like the car talk from the little game, Grand Theft Auto 3. Like the most bizarre random crap, and that was half the fun of the game. And of course, they want to take the most fun part out, which is all the online camaraderie, all the fun with the friends, and yeah, I mean, these days, do these companies really deserve the benefit of the doubt? I mean, I've yet to see a really example where they actually like really authentically made a mistake. And interesting enough, when these quote unquote mistakes happen, it's always one political ideology that's treated better and one that's demonized. Now, this went pretty well. I got 305,000 views and 12,000 likes. One of the first comments comes from Paul Zupa saying, quote, "Yet more election interference by big tech," getting 107 likes. America memed rather says they care more about banning people for speech than banning cheaters in their game. Very true, getting 712 likes. Yo Sniper says, "I'm sure it's just another quote-unquote glitch or oversight and in no way involves a fat, mixed-haired Z-Zer." Yeah, I agree. Got 210 likes. American Papa Bear says, "Every time I type president in my iPhone, the predictive text always shows Obama and Biden, but not Trump." Unreal, getting 235 likes. Which, yeah, I'm sure Apple has their preference too. Runaway Press says, "Yep, liberal companies don't care about conservatives, but they will protect Democrats." Getting 222 likes. Rolling up here. Remen T says, "Left has undermined society, time to dismantle." Getting 55 likes, which, I mean, good luck with that. If you look at the major shareholders and like more, was it 85% of the Fortune 500 companies? The three largest shareholders are always the same: BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard. I mean, there are many reasons why these companies are really doing things that many consumers don't agree with, but they know that the shareholders want them to do it, and they're the largest ones. And these companies, if they were to sell it, just one of those companies liquidating their stock, that could cause the price to crash precipitously, and also give a signal to the whole industry not to buy their stock or their product. Now, there's also many of these companies that are ideologically bent, and they're just doing it because they believe in it as well. One or two more comments. You have Bradley Productions saying, "Boycott COD," getting 68 likes, which, humble brag, I think I've been doing that for about a decade. I'm trying to think. I think I was right out of college when I sold my 360. That was the last modern system I had. Cartridges for life. Although, ironically enough, I don't really have time to play with them. But nevertheless, I do have a couple. N64 is the best. Changed my mind. Scrolling down more and more. The one guy, 55, says Call of Duty. Oh, wow. Call of Duty Rainbow Groomers Edition. Getting 46 likes. And it has a cool little graphic. Friendly reminder to tune into the show on one of the video platforms like YouTube, or better yet, the big green competitor. Got 46 likes. See here. Any contrarian statements? Nada. Again, in terms of boycotting this, though, I mean, Call of Duty is the, last time I checked, the best known mass production first-person shooter. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they've gotten pretty lazy in terms of it seems just to be a copy-paste every time they put out a new product. You don't really see a lot of innovation. I think I have one or two friends who still buy the latest upgrades, and I mean, every time the graphics get a little bit better, but in terms of like the game mechanics and the actual like concepts of the game, it's pretty common to what they had about a decade ago. I'm not sure how many real competitors there are to this in terms of if you were to try to boycott it. There's also the cultural thing of like, what platform are my friends on? When I was in high school, everyone I knew had an Xbox platform because that's where all the friends were online. Except that one or two weird kids at the PlayStation 3 at the time. And they thought they were so cool because they could play online for free. Back in the day, you had to buy an well, now you guys pay for everyone, but Sony had a loss leader where they had the, free online play if you buy our platform. Microsoft from day one charged for the online gameplay, the little subscription. They've been charging people month to month ever since. But let me know in the comments, do you think there will be realistically a boycott of the platform? Do you think people will migrate to a different game? Or do you think the people online playing, a majority of them, they really don't care if you can or cannot name your particular clan? Let me know in the comments. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the political part podcast, you have JD Vance, weird trending, but the leftist pictures are kind of dominating the conversation, which shouldn't be too surprised because there's a vast quantity of those weird and many times horrifying pictures. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Amuse over on X Twitter. And he says, quote, JD Vance is really weird, ... There's a compilation of, how many is that? 6x5? Oh yeah, 6x5. Wait, how big is this picture? Let's see here. Oh, no, it's 4. 6x4. 24 pictures. And yeah, it's all the weirdest leftists. You have the Olympic opening where you had the reverse Papa Smurf. You had the military general that dressed up, I'm trying to keep this moderately family friendly, dressed up with a doggy leather face in uniform. You also have Pete Buttigieg. You have George Takei, the Star Trek guy, touching naked men while he's clothed. I don't know what kind of talk show that was on. And a lot of horrifying pictures. You have the, what was that? The head of Department of Energy was a cross-dressing bald man who grew famous by stealing women's baggage from airports and dressing in it. Presented access apparently to the nuclear launch codes apparently, and they get fired this individual for like years later. And you have all other perverse people in politics who are leftists with their sexual things that's best, if anything, left to the bedroom, if not at all. This guy probably got 1.4 million views and 52,000 likes. Yeah, what do you think is weirder, JD Vance, which, I mean, I don't have much ground to stand on. I'm weird. I mean, well, also can't really speak sometimes too, so I have that going for me. But yeah, what's weirder, JD Vance or all this? You also have, what was it, Nancy Pelosi and the kente cloth kneeling down. Now, one of the top comments, apparently, I don't know, I read in some cases this was photoshopped. I'm not sure if this is real, if they put his face on it. And Pete, again, this came because I guess Pete Buttigieg said JD Vance is just weird. And this is a probably Photoshop picture of Pete Buttigieg apparently trying to chest feed a child. Now, this is also the mentally vacuous person who took 6 months off work. Nobody knew he was gone, which also shows how useless that government position is. 6 months gone, nobody realized it. Also, the person who played dress up at the hospital when he and his husband adopted a child, and then they both played dress up and sat in, like the delivery bed, which again, it didn't come out. There's zero reason for that. Now that got 138 likes. Doc Sun says, yeah, right, and it says, as these people demonically, and I'm not being bombastic, this person literally dressed up as Satan, someone who looks to be mostly naked holding the trans flag, and says, MAGA is a cult, vote Joe to be normal like us. that got 365 likes. Rita De Leon says JD Vance is weird and creepy, and it's all the celebrities eating. I think it was last year. It was like a cake, but it was in the form of a human body. Creepy and weird as hell. Yeah, 202 likes. What is that? Yeah, there you go. See all a lot more government officials. What is that? This person I think won Woman of the Year. Rachel Levine, which used to be a man, government official, who apparently still has a job, transitioned and grew to fame. You also have Dylan Mulvaney holding the tampon, where a business, I'll still never forget, a business sponsored Dylan Mulvaney, who again is a biological man, many people would pejoratively call just, dressing up as a woman face, because again, he had the 365 days of womanhood, which is how Dylan grew to fame. Someone sponsored, it was like $1 million contract. The biological man got sponsorship for tampons, which many people would say disrespectful to women. I mean, ridiculous. Again, we're told that's normal. I got 176 likes. Let's see. Million CPIC says weird. It says Joe Biden restored decency to the White House. Yep. And there you see all the perverted people. Yeah. They also had the picture of the cocaine in the White House. Yet another example of the ineptitudes of the United States Secret Service. How did that cocaine get into the most guarded building on the planet with more cameras than a camera store? I can't even think of. It's so outrageous. I can't even think of a funny enough metaphor for that. Because again, which means the Secret Service is either corrupt or inept. How did that? Because again, that substance came to the White House and they go, "Yeah, we don't know how that happened." Really? The most guarded building on the planet. What if that was anthrax? I guarantee you they have more security systems we could possibly fathom, and they know exactly where that coke came from. Spoiler, it's probably Hunter Biden. Yeah, I'll never forget. Decency's on the ballot. That did get a picture compilation, got 115 likes. Let's see here. Scrolling down more and more. A picture of Kamala Harris with a drag queen. Gained 52 likes. American Dad says JD Vance is really weird. And you have a picture of Chris from Mr. Beast and with his wife and child, and says he left this to be this, and the person transitioned and allegedly sent inappropriate sexual messages to young children. Surprise, surprise. That did get 48 likes. See if there's any contrarian statements here. A couple pictures showing the picture. So a couple people posting the pictures of JD Vance as a U.S. Marine, getting 53 likes. UCJ says LMFAO, Harry Sisson just being Harry Sisson, getting 7 likes. Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to win that contest of calling someone else weird. You also have the picture of the Democrat official who, it's a nice way of saying this, and again also shows how mentally vacuous they are, had someone take a video of him being pleasured in a U.S. government official government building, and yet I don't think no one got fired for that. We filmed that in a government building. Yeah, that's fine. But remember, decency is on the ballot. So I don't think in terms of moves on the political chessboard, I don't think you're going to win that case. I mean, even if JD Vance is a little, maybe socially awkward, a little weird, you're not going to win that contest of who's more normal. That's not going to happen. That is a poor move on the political chessboard of all the moves they're trying to make. That's not going to be a winning strategy. And granted, it's been trending for a couple, this week. I don't think that's going to be a long-term trend. I don't think there'll be a lot of campaigns or anything like this. But yeah, it was just really ridiculous. Someone said it went trending. I don't think it's going to trend in their favor anytime soon. But, of course, let me know in the comments, because as always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting political news, you have Gavin Newsom, wanting to ban a Kamala ad parody. Now, then you have also Elon chiming in as well. This comes straight from the, some might say the lizard's mouth. Gavin Newsom's account on X Twitter saying, quote, manipulating a voice in an ad like this one should be illegal. I'll be signing off a bill in a matter of weeks to ensure it is. To which thankfully people like Elon will say, well, F you, I'll do what I want. It's free speech. Now again, in terms of my 3 cents, used to be 2 cents, but 40-year hyperinflation, this looks to be like it was posted by Mr. Reagan on X Twitter originally. And again, in bold, in this particular case, in terms of the description of the video, he actually has in bold or caps, add parody. So you also have Elon says, quote, or there's a little picture, Elon Musk retweets altered Kamala Harris campaign ad. In the video, Harris seemingly exposes herself as an incompetent candidate for president. The origin of the video isn't yet known. Now, this went pretty well. I got 8.6 million views and 149,000 likes, with the best response being Elon saying, quote, jeez. I mean, this is one of the reasons why, hey, this is just a goat move and hilarious. So Elon says, quote, I checked with the renowned world authority, Professor Suggen D's Nuts, and he said parody is legal in America. And it's a little less than 2 minutes long, so we'll go ahead and play this ad parody.
I, Kamala Harris, am your Democrat candidate for president because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility of the debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color.
I mean, that part is true. Biden said out the quiet part out loud, he said, I'm going to pick a black woman, which many people in the African American community actually debate. Well, her family is Indian and Jamaican, but nevertheless, he said the quiet part out loud. He said he's going to hire someone not based on their qualifications or the skills or their track record, which actually, now that you think about it, she doesn't have any of those three things. But nevertheless, he said he hired her as VP, or he picked her because of VP because of that. Again, it's not morally correct, and I don't think long term is going to be politically well, because I don't think, we'll see what the numbers pan out with, but I don't think the average American person believes you should pick someone for any position, whether it be business or politics, just based on things they cannot control, such as their race and their gender.
So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist.
That's funny, because that's what they'll say.
I may not know the first thing about running the country, but remember, that's a good thing if you're a deep state puppet. I had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet, a wonderful mentor, Joe Biden. Joe taught me rule number 1, carefully hide your total incompetence. I take insignificant things and I discuss them as if they're significant. And I believe that exploring the significance of the insignificant is in itself significant.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time.
That could be something she says. She just speaks in roundabout terms so poorly. She makes my speaking ineptitudes look like I'm a scholar in comparison.
Right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time.
Another trick is trying to sound black. I pretend to celebrate Kwanzaa, and in my speeches, I always do my best Barack.
If you actually, now that I think about it, have you ever met anyone in the real world who really celebrates Kwanzaa? Like, not like they actually take a BS holiday, like they just don't work that day. Like, they authentically celebrate it. I have friends of many races and religions, and races and creeds. I never met a single person who authentically celebrates that. That'd be an interesting comment or survey. Let me know if you actually have.
Obama impression.
So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
And okay, look, maybe my work addressing the root causes of the border crisis were catastrophic, but my knowledge of international politics is truly shocking.
The United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. It is an alliance that is strong and enduring.
And just remember, when voting this November, it is important to see what can be unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean Joe Biden.
I mean, that she actually did do with the North Korea thing, and then the unburned thing. That reel has been played millions of times on X Twitter with her, that terrible attempt of a phrase.
Do you think the country went to shit over the past 4 years? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Gillette. Yeah, horrifying but hilarious. That cackle, she really missed out on her calling. She would be a phenomenal Joker actress. I mean, that laugh is up there. One of the first comments comes from Dave Rubin saying, every word that comes out of your mouth is a lie, you with your forked tongue. And this picture of Gavin Newsom with the, like a skin mask stretched across a lizard's face, getting 2.1 thousand likes. Paul Zupa says, Gavin Newsom wants to censor satire. No wonder comedy stinks. Getting 6.4 thousand likes. Iman Hamruth says, quote, these people have no morals, no God, no standards, no beliefs, no integrity. They only serve one purpose, and that's to meddle in other people's lives. The fake videos of VP Harris is what you do when you have nothing. You can legitimately take a candidate on dirty pool. A contrarian statement, interestingly enough. dirty pool. What the heck is that? Yeah, in terms of attacking her based on her track record, oh, there's a lot of material there. And the biggest one by far that I think will be a huge, probably be the top topic when it comes to political issues that American voters care about is the border and her lack of any modicum of any performance. You also have the quartering scene, quote, people in your state need a literal poop app to navigate your streets without stepping in it. You are parody, getting 3.8 thousand likes. Which, yep, that was an interesting way they thought they would fix the problem. Just invent this app so you know where to not walk around. Yeah. Gunther Eagleman says, quote, did Elon hurt your feelings, LL? Getting 1.5 thousand likes. Armoon Harath also says, thank you, Gavin Newsom, for the work you do for us all. Yeah. You're not joking? It got 639 likes? 94 comments, though. Let's see, was he ratioed? Let's see. And this is a picture of Gavin Newsom. It says, highest poverty rate in the nation, highest gas taxes in the nation, highest state income tax in America, record homelessness in California. All under Gavin Newsom. And the crazy thing is, again, statistically speaking, who's voting for him, a lot of the ladies like that he's a handsome man. He keeps getting elected time and time again. Which, I mean, you get what you vote for. Fascinatingly enough, I can't think of a single business that has moved to the California area in the past, 5 years or more. Yet hundreds leave, going to places that have the opposite political and cultural ideologies. For instance? No, absolutely not. Going back to the main comments, you have Paratrooper Brady saying, quote, so is deleting Trump assassination attempt off Google, directing illegal aliens to the border to your state is illegal too, getting 3.6 thousand likes. E says, let's give Mr. Reagan USA some credit for that amazing ad he created. It's changing laws. He had 1,000 likes, rather. Valentina Gomez says, Elon Musk kicked this bitch out of X. It'd be funny. Getting 4.7 thousand likes, which I wouldn't be a fan of. Again, you want to... There's a freedom of speech. I mean, what was the old adage? What was the old adage when it comes to allowing your enemy... When your enemy is making a mistake, never stop them. And again, like Gavin... I actually wish Gavin would just tweet all day long. All his track record, his ideologies, his policies, so that everyone knows how terrible and how ineffective they all truly are. So no, I would not be a fan of, kicking him off the platform. And again, in terms of legalities of these ads and these parodies, and being charged with election interference, which, again, if you make a meme about election interference, well, if you're on the right, you'll be charged and sent to jail. But if you're on the left, you'll be fine. We've seen this exact use case of two people making parody ads saying text to vote for our candidate. Only the one on the right was prosecuted. Fascinatingly enough. Now, again, with these ads, as long as you say it's a parody somewhere in it, I don't think there's any U.S. law that would ban it or get you in trouble. And we also have Lawfare Society, though, so we'll see if that holds any water. Going down, you have someone by the name of Nicholas J. Fuentes saying, I agree, getting 3.3 thousand likes. Libercat Media Tam says, of course, you are Mr. Dictator. Elon posted a funny memes video, you jackass. If you really want to remain a tyrant, go to Cuba or China. And there's a picture saying Democrats are communist. That got 4.3 thousand likes. And, Justin Trudeau, I mean, he looks just like the head of Cuba, just like the Castros. So there's a lot of allegations. Maybe he's related. His mother was a promiscuous woman. Comes to Gavin Newsom, some people, I keep mispronouncing his name. He might not be related to Cuban leaderships or dictators, but policies are very similar. He'd probably be happy there. Red Wave Press says, don't forget Gavin Newsom signed a bill that would prevent schools from notifying parents if their kids are transitioning. Pure evil. Getting 2.6. Oh, I thought I could get it to 2.7 thousand likes with my extra like there, which that is also the exact law that Elon Musk has cited as the primary and final reason, the straw that broke the camel back, in him relocating his massive companies of X, Twitter, and also SpaceX out of California, leading again to the trend of businesses leaving the state. Yep. Let's see here. Going down more and more. America Papa Bear says, well, her campaign is constantly lying. Why is this a big deal? Getting 4.3 thousand likes. Let's see here. Is this a contrarian statement? Perhaps. Someone by the name of Valeria Bryden with the Ukrainian flag, coconut, a jab, pronouns of we, us, influencer. Okay, interesting. Says, nobody likes you, getting 3,000 likes. Emergent Perspective says it's called copyright fair use. You have bigger problems. Just clean your streets. There's a picture of the app that shows all of San Francisco is just a giant brown because there's poo everywhere. Got 541 likes, which he did clean the streets when China visited and when Salesforce had their big conference in San Francisco. So they have the ability to clean temporarily. They just don't have the desire. Again, if you fix the problem, then you can't raise money on it. And they just admitted they misplaced, was it $24 billion on the homelessness issue? They spent $24 billion fixing the homeless problem in California, and they have nothing to show for it. Which is yet another reason, if this people needed another one, I think this is really reason like 5,958,475,343 as to the government being ineffective and not doing something right. As if people needed additional evidence. Yeah, there's any contrarian statements. I'm scrolling more and more. Conservative Patriot Pizza B word says it's meant to be funny. Shut up, you whiny clown. Getting 1.5 thousand likes. DEL says Gavin Newsom is basically saying that funny videos of political candidates like Kamala Harris should be illegal. I bet he wouldn't say that if it was Donald Trump. Getting 3.7 thousand likes, which, yeah, I mean, they've gone after people who make memes before. Of course, only people on the right. I'm going to terribly butcher this attempt of pronunciation, but I will attempt it nevertheless. Shibashi Nakimoto? Maybe close. It's got a cool Doge coin face profile picture. Nevertheless, they say, quote, bro, it's extremely obvious parody. Only someone with completely and utterly stupid wouldn't be able to figure that out. Getting 6.5 thousand likes. Viva Frey says filthy communists and fascist dictators hate comedy. They do not like people laughing at them. Getting 532 likes. Rini Pinta says that didn't work out so well, did it? And someone throwing a bottle of champagne at a concrete structure and it explodes and hits them right back. Getting 1,000 likes. Amir King says illegal to alter voice. Getting 616 likes. Let's see here. The little Gumpy says, how about Google manipulating search results? Since a picture of someone trying to type in assassination attempt of Trump, they say that all the way up to the TR, and you have nothing related to Donald Trump because Google is censoring that data. Got 513 likes. We do have a contrarian statement. We had to scroll quite a bit. We found someone else who likes Gavin Newsom. David Leavitt. He has a dice, a video game controller, a wizard, and a rainbow. All his emojis in the name. Interesting. Apparently describes himself as a award-winning multimedia journalist. Interesting. He says, thank you. Got 574 likes and 52 comments. Was he ratioed? I wonder. Not loading fast enough. Let's see. Former Republican says this should be a campaign crime and a political should be able to sue them for damages. Legislation also needs to be passed that require AI companies to embed a digital marker and require social media companies to display that image, video, audio is AI generated immediately, getting 479 likes. Let's see. The Voted Patriot responded saying, just, okay, shut up, getting 3 likes. Which again, in terms of legality of AI, it's one of those things where if it's consistently applied to everyone equally, if there's a disclaimer, I don't think that'd be a terrible idea. Because again, one AI video can cause stock markets to crash, could cause wars to happen. If you have a disclaimer, again, this is kind of opening up Pandora's box in terms of technology. Yeah, I think that wouldn't be a bad thing. If it's an AI image, and again, this is obviously a parody, but this technologies will get better and better and better to the point where it'll be seamless, and you won't be able to tell the difference, which is quite horrifying and fascinating to say the least. You also have someone by the name of Not Mentally Ill, saying this video was literally labeled parody. Here comes Dictator Newsom in for the communist rescue. Getting 641 likes. Let's see here. One more. Let's see here. 2 more. Sheepdog Society LLC says, quote, Elon's being nice, but I'm not nice. I know what he really wants to say to you, Gavin. It's this. And some Photoshop Donald Trump holding a poster board, and it's written on it. Nobody effing cares. And the Fox News, the Fox logo is changed from, it says, go F yourself. Getting 499 likes. We also have Apple Lamp saying, when will you work on the filth in your streets, your open border, and ending the sexualization of children in your state? Getting 403 likes. This picture of Gavin Newsom hanging out with Kamala Harris, apparently. Which, I mean, those are the things they seemingly love the most, so I don't think they would ever fix it, because they don't see it as a problem. They applaud it and they like it, which is horrifying to say the least. Now, in terms of the political implications of these possible bans, I'm not sure if it means X-Twitter would be fine if they refuse to take them down, if they simply lock down the app so it can't work or operate in California until they change their stipulations, change their policies to disallow it. And I don't know if this is something where Gavin Newsom just goes, snaps fingers, executive order, all these videos are not illegal. I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, X-Twitter has been growing more and more in popularity in terms of the number of users. So I don't think the people in California I don't think they'd be fans if they were to have that app banned from them. But let me know, what do you think the political implications are of these bans of usage? Do you think it will be a big role in the 2024 election? As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting political news, you have Pete Buttigieg saying men that they're actually freer under abortion and going viral. Now, this, of course, comes to us thanks to ex-Twitter, specifically Greg Price. Now, Greg Price says, quote, Pete Buttigieg says that men are freer when abortion is legal because men can have consequence-free sex and simply kill their unborn babies instead of taking responsibility for them. Or JD Vance is weird or something. And I apologize in terms of being, nice, slightly thing. You will have to see Pete Buttigieg, which, I know. But it's only about 21 seconds long, so it's not too painful, hopefully.
I'm so glad she has made freedom the theme of her campaign, because I think in so many ways that's what's at stake. And yes, women's freedom is Exhibit A after Donald Trump demolished the right to choose. But of course, men are also more free in a country where we have a president who stands up for things like access to abortion care. Men are more free.
So he's advocating that it's better for men to abdicate from their responsibility and be pieces of, what's a nice way of putting this? Pieces of shit. He's saying that's a good thing we have access to these. And again, it shows how manipulative and mentally they think the voters are stupid. Because again, this is going to be one of the biggest topics for the 2024 election. Even though it shouldn't be, and technically there's no conceivable way it could be. Because again, all Trump did was, and again, if you're a pro-life person, you should thank God Ruth Bader Ginsburg was such an egotistical, power-hungry, mentally, morally vacuous person to hold on to that position until she died. Because again, strategy-wise, many people were saying when Barack Obama was in office, they said, hey, Ruth, you should step down now so we can put in one of our new cronies who hates the Constitution, and that way we can have our way for longer. She said, nope, I want power forever. And she expired when Donald Trump was in office, and he was able to appoint constitutionalists who actually believe in the founding fathers and what their ideals were. And that left them to say, hey, we're going to take Roe versus Wade, which, again, interestingly enough, even if Bader Ginsburg didn't agree with the basis on which that ruling came to, and they said, hey, we don't see this in the Constitution. It's going back to the states. So if you want to be like Minnesota, you can have abortion all the way up to 9 months, which, statistically speaking, most Americans do not agree with. Most of them find it horrifying. Which, again, all that Trump did was appoint people to the Supreme Court, and they relegated it back to the states. So again, if you want a change, it doesn't matter who's president. If you want change, you have to get someone elected on a local level. You have to propose a bill at the local level. That's where it's going to happen. Yet, Kamala Harris has said this. Pete Buttigieg has said this. They keep saying this is going to be, this is the 2024 election issue. And mentally vacuous people will vote for this just because of that issue, not maybe they just don't do a modicum of research, but they won't realize, oh no, wait, it doesn't matter who's in that office. Because again, it is down to a state level. Again, if you want change, just go do it on that level where it will actually happen. Even if the president signs an executive order, the Supreme Court will immediately just shoot it down. And yet, you saw the little parameter, they're raising money off this. Which, again, kind of sad how many Americans do not do research left and right when it comes to political ideologies and these statements. And this pretty well got 1 million views and 22,000 likes. Now, let's go to some top comments. One of the first ones comes from Greg Price saying, I'm pretty sure Jennifer Aniston will have a lot to say about this, getting 221 likes. Let's see here. Just a Dude says, coming from this guy, and it's Pete Buttigieg, which, again, Reuters, so again, this image of Pete Buttigieg is apparently trying to chest feed a child with some type of artificial breast. Again, Reuters is saying this has been a photo has been altered. They're saying it's not real, so I'm putting that caveat out there. This is also coming from the guy who is so creepy, where him and his husband went to the hospital to buy their kid, and they played dress up as if they had the child, they delivered the child, and they sat in a medical bed, which, I mean, even my friends who are, who are gay, they're like, that's weird and creepy. Again, And then again, this guy who disappeared for 6 months and no one realized he was gone, Pete Buttigieg, your primary example is someone who should be fired as a federal employee. Like, you don't matter if it's been 6 months and no one realized you're gone, and he's still making more money than most Americans. Now, that did get 234 likes. Scrolling down more and more, you have Proud Patriot saying, "This is disgusting. Sleep with whoever you want so you can kill a baby. So much for responsibility and morality." Getting 218 likes. And yep, A+ for accuracy. And it also shows you how far politics and culture has shifted throughout just the past couple of years. And when I was growing up, Democrats, even they were against abortion morally. They said it should not be celebrated. They said it was supposed to be, in their theory, they thought it was supposed to be safe, legal, and rare. And those things are just out the window these days. You have people so morally vacuous, which, again, even if you agree with, and I do it, I have friends who are pro-choice, I have friends who are pro-life. Even the ones that are pro-choice are agreement to saying you should not be celebrating this when people are going through with their abortion. And yet, yeah, that's what it's almost their sacrament now. It's a lot of marketing from the DNC is about that. Now, you also have Mark says men are freer because abortion is good. JD Vance is weird, so weird. Meet our babies as we lie here together in hospital. Yep. So that's a Pete Buttigieg and his husband sitting in the hospital as if they get. Also, an awkward picture for many reasons. They're sitting two people in that single little. I forget. Well, I know the largest manufacturer is the Stryker. Which, fun business fact, Howard Hughes, when he went to the hospital one time after a plane crash, he was the one who actually came up with the idea of these hospital beds are infinitely adjustable with all the motors. Fun business fact for the day. But they are both squeezed into this bed. And it even looks like one of them is. Does one of them have a medical bracelet on? It's almost like they're just playing dress up and they holding the children. They got 119 likes. Scrolling down more and more. You have Tall Teeth saying, "A gay man who bought two babies is telling straight men they should kill theirs. This isn't weird or wrong." Getting 82 likes. And fascinatingly enough, more other countries, they're actually outlawing the practice and the business of surrogacy, which in the U.S. isn't as controversial as I think it might become in the next couple of years. You really don't see that a lot of the headlines. But again, this is an instance where that process was used to purchase the kids. Scrolling down more and more. Race Revenge says, "We all know what Mayo Pete is." And it says 56 criminal counts, 40 possessions of, cover your ears for the children, 40 possessions of inappropriate child material, and 16 distribution cases of distributing child material. Got 85 likes. That's there's hanging out with Pete the whole time. He's got his arm around his shoulder, and they both look really happy. Yeah, and eventually he was busted. Hopefully to remain in prison forever. If not, I'm not sure what state it happened in terms of the judge's discretion, where in some cases they have more flexibility on assigning punishments. Going down more and more, you have Army Brat 68 saying, "What happened to being accountable and taking responsibility for your actions? He's a sick man." Getting 92 likes, which in general, culturally, in the United States, it is also concerning that responsibility as an overall theme is decreasing in popularity. This is what probably the biggest example of abdicating responsibility and the most morally disgusting thing to do in terms of walking away from a family situation. And I hope culturally we do shift back to, everyone taking accountability for the actions. I know it's a rare thing these days, and just saying that is a horrifying taboo for some folks, but hopefully we do turn that tide, so to say. More comments. We have Mr. Maliando saying, "Why is Buttigieg talking about politics and campaigning for Kamala? Is that a violation of the Hatch Act?" Getting 33 likes. I mean, wouldn't be the first time they broke law. I mean, we all know law is selectively applied these days. Burt Macklin says, what would he know about that? Getting 55 likes. Sean Murphy says, "Oh, really?" So according to Sean Murphy, Barnes & Noble removed this display in St. Petersburg, Florida. Fight. And it was a display of they call them Pride books, but they're really adult content, because as soon as you open them, they disgustingly have graphical instructions on how to do sexual acts, and they're trying to market these as children books. And apparently they took down this display. One of these books is labeled Bye Bye Binary. One's called, Queer and Fearless, which again used to be a pejorative term that you weren't supposed to say, interestingly enough. More of them are labeled Pride. ABCs is a book, apparently. And I'm trying to see if they have the most well-known one is called, was it the Don't Be Gay book, or what was it? But it looks like they got rid of it. And that got 24 likes. Now again, I'm not sure. I highly doubt. I highly doubt it's a countrywide policy of Barnes and Noble, because again, there are places like San Francisco who they want those books right up in there in the center, and they'll sell out probably immediately. So it'd be interesting to see if it. I'll have to look into it in terms of that's a nationwide company policy or what's going on there. A couple more. You have Tomboy to Mom saying, I've always argued that abortion was a boon for men, allowing them to exploit women at whim with zero consequences, leaving women with scars for life, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks, Pete Buttigieg, for making this clear. We do have a contrarian statement, so I'm agreeing with Pete. And that got 77 likes. A boon. Interesting. Wait a minute. Well, as a gal. She describes herself as wife. Oh, interesting. 77 likes. Sororian Stoic says, a man who breastfed a baby with fake boobs thinks JD Vance is weird. Again, 13 likes. Violet, Volatile, can't pronounce things today, says this is weird. Special Rachel Levine, again, the U.S. government official who transitioned, getting 10 likes. So, yeah. And again, there's a lot of speculation. I mean, will Pete Buttigieg be, will that be Kamala Harris's VP? I mean, he's been increasing his popularity in politics for quite some time. I mean, even though he had no qualifications, I remember he famously got that transportation secretary role just because he liked choo-choo trains. Pretty sure that's his words too, as ridiculous as it might sound. So, and maybe it'll be the VP? Not out of the realm of possibility. They might get some bonus points for that. I'm not sure how much the average American will care one way or another about the VP being Pete. I'd say controversial statements like this probably doesn't help them out with the average American, maybe the average American voter, but let me know in the comments, because as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Tesla. Well, they have a recall of 1.8 million vehicles due to a hatch issue. But it is a Tesla, so thankfully, it's just an over-the-air update. Now, this is brought to us. Oh, sorry about that. Thanks to Mashable.com. They say, quote, it's by Stan Schrover over there, saying Tesla recalls 1.8 million cars over a hood issue. The fix is coming via over-the-air update. There you can see some of those fancy Tesla vehicles right there. They say, quote, Tesla has issued a recall for 1.8 million vehicles in the United States, one of the largest recalls in the company's history. The issue has to do with the car's software failing to detect a unlatched hood. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, an unlatched, well, it's just hilarious that this is definitely government speak where they have to spell it out, maybe for legal reasons, but this is, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, an unlatched hood can, quote, fully open and obstruct the driver's view and increase the risk of a crash, unquote. You don't say. Having the hood pop up could obstruct your view? I didn't know that. Thank you, government. Again, it's hilarious that they actually spelled it out that way. Now, in terms of specific vehicles that are being recalled, they note that, quote, the recall affects some 2021 to 2024 Model 3, Model S, and Model X cars, as well as the 2020 to 2024 Model Y models. The total number of vehicles that are potentially affected is specifically 1,849,648 vehicles. They say that, quote, fortunately for Tesla and Tesla car owners, this is one of those recalls that can be fixed via an over-the-air software update, and Tesla has already started rolling out a fix. Companies also issued a small recall for a similar issue in July this year, which, again, this is not great news for Tesla because, again, they are having these recalls ramp up more and more. They recently had one with the Cybertruck, which that already was critiqued for being, well, not just very expensive, but a little late to the game in terms of the deliverables not being there when they said it was going to be there. Now, again, it's not good news because for average American, just hear the word recall is terrible. And because it usually is a painful experience, go to the dealership, they maybe fix it in hours, days, weeks, or months. Sometimes you're out of a vehicle. Not the same case for Teslas. It's simply a software update. And I would guess, statistically speaking, like an average Tesla owner has pretty good cell reception, pretty good network reception. They're able to download it pretty painless, and especially if they have a little subscription where I think they even have the thing built to the car. But still, I'm not sure. In some EVs, sometimes inoperable during the update. They really didn't specify how long the update will take, whether just something that easily happens while you're at home sleeping at night. But not great news for Tesla having one of their biggest recalls, which, again, according to the U.S. government, this is still a recall. So just look at it for the reliability ratings for a lot of reviewers and critiquers. and they already have a lot of recalls as is. So having yet their biggest recall, I gotta say Tesla, that is certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, leave me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.